Hey everybody, it's Brant, and I'm back with another indie music record album review. And I've got my good buddy Aaron with me. And had this band called Voice of Doom I'd never heard of before in my life. They sent me a package in the mail, and they sent me a nice little letter along with it. And they said, "Hey Brant, we wanted to send along our latest CD to you in case you ever decided to review band submissions who watch in my head. We're big fans. We hope you stay safe. We hope you like the album, VOD." And I started talking with the guys and in the band, and really cool guys, really super guys. And so today we're going to be reviewing an independent album put out by the band called Voice of Doom. Now I had them send me some of their bios, their histories, and they actually have a pretty interesting history. And I brought Aaron on for this, and so I got him a copy of the CD, and I got him a copy of the. He just basically you found it somewhere online, didn't you?
Amazon Prime Music actually had it, and a couple of their other releases too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the couple of other releases what we're going to talk about. So I want to go back a little bit about, since I didn't know about this band, I wanted to go back and do a little bit of history searching on them. And between what I found and what I read out of their bio, I wrote this. Voice of Doom is an American horror punk hardcore band originally from Hackensack, New Jersey, with their origin beginning all the way back in 1983 as a band called The System. That's Systum. Started in 1986, drummer John Steele formed Voice of Doom with fellow bandmate Frankie Fender as an experimental punk metal hybrid form, influenced by early metal masters Black Sabbath, Motorhead, as well as punk-inspired Misfits and Black Flag. And I'll say later, you definitely hear those influences in these songs. Steele moved from drums to vocals, guitar, while Ricky Blades and Sam Haines, London May, were brought in for bass and drums. The band released an EP called Faith is Torn and recorded another EP that was never released until 2018. And then the band disbanded in 1988. So fast forward to 2014. In New Jersey, the band reforms 25 years after their breakup and records 5 new songs, packages it with a remastered Faith is Torn and titles it VOD 3. The new lineup featured founding members John Steele, Frankie Fender, original bassist Ricky Blades, who also laid tracks on their Faith is Torn, as well as a new drummer, Carl C. Scott, and former Nasty Ammunition Whole Shot bandmate Evil Heim for lead vocals. 2015 was a year for more lineup changes, which included bassist Ricky Blades having a change of heart and Carl C. Scott dying in an automobile accident. Steele then turned to fellow 65 bandmates Joe Pugsley and Ryan Struck to take over bass and drum duties respectively. In 2015, the band's lineup was cemented and the band would play their first show in over 25 years. From 2016 to 2017, the band would record and release several EPs, including Scared to Death and Screams in Space, and I've seen those online. And they recorded a live album recorded in German punk clubs called Voice of Doom, Haunting Dutchland, and that was released in Halloween in 2017. In 2018, again on Halloween, they released a putrid green 7-inch vinyl record called Toxic Swamp, which has been widely considered their best commercially digestible effort yet. In 2019, the band released a limited edition 7-inch white lathe cut disc as a tease to their next full-length LP entitled Saint Blaise. So, come to the current year, April 2020, the band released the record we're reviewing today, Saint Blaise. And ironically, the band wrapped up recording on February 3rd, which is the traditional celebration of the patron saint of the throat, Saint Blaise. The band, in its inception back in 1986, cited influences as equal parts Black Flag and Black Sabbath. And so, I'm going to put up some pictures that's inside. This is a picture of the band here. So this is John Steele. and he is lead guitars, or he's guitars and vocals. And then we have Frankie Fender, and he is guitar. And then we have Evil Heim, he is vocals. And then we have Joe Pugsley, he's smacking the bass. And then we have, usually one of my favorite members of the band, we have Ryan Struck. He is the drummer. But yeah, so this is a little insert that comes in. It's got the songs on the back there. And this is what the CD looks like when you get it. So if you order the CD, and I'll put the information where you can buy this CD from, order it from the band's website or whatever. I'll put that all down in the description. But this is the cover. And I know everything's backward. I apologize. But this is the cover. And then you open it up, and it's got this on the inside. Real cool picture, like a ghost grabbing up a dude. And it's got the picture of the band. And then you open it on up, and it's got the CD in here. Picture of Evil Heim there. And then in the back, it's got some trees. It's very typo negative-ish there kind of feel. And I like this old, that's just the sepia that they've got it in. That's the whole back of it right there. And if you order the CD, from what I understand, if you order this, you get goodies along with it. You get a little pin that is St. Blaise inspired. I'll try to get that as close as I can. And you get a guitar pick. It's also got Voice of Doom on it. And you get a sticker, because we all love stickers, and you get a sticker. So, I really appreciate the guys sending me this album. Without getting into too specifics about it, just your overall thoughts, influences you might have heard, general thoughts you might have had. What's some of your thoughts about this album, Aaron?
Well, when I first put it in, I thought it was good. I liked it. I think I don't know if you put the seed in my head, or I put the seed in my own head, or if it's just the fact that there's the word doom in their name. But I was like too distracted looking for doom, like Candlemass or stuff. I'm like, well, that's kind of, but I listened to it. I like, it was okay. Didn't mind it. It wasn't bad. It was good. But I'm like, it's not doom. Well, I let it settle in. Listened to it again. Read up on the band. Realized that they were going for more like the horror punk vibe. And I listened to it again. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now I'm hearing Misfits. I'm hearing like Danzig 2, Danzig 3 era vocals. High on Fire, Black Sabbath. What else? Like Cro-Mags, like I heard the punk and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, well now I get it. Like this album's awesome. And then I looked into their back catalog, which is only not huge. It's only the live one and what's available that I can find. The live one and like an EP. Mm-hmm. Okay, well yeah, these guys are badass, and they don't sound like one band, and I don't think they're trying to. I think they're trying to get little bits of all these bands that I heard, and they could have toured with any of them at any time. Misfits, Danzig, Typo Negative, High on Fire, Corona, and they would fit right in. And if you saw them, you're like, oh well, these guys, they got a nice mix, and that's why I really like it. It was really, and to find out that they're around in the '80s mm-hmm. and came back 20 some years later. Like, all right, well, these guys are badass. So I've been listening to it not just to get ready for this thing, but I've been listening to it just for my own enjoyment. Like, well, yeah, these guys are, yeah, I like them a lot. So I'm in. I'm a fan. I'm a Voice of Doom fan.
So let's talk about the songs. There's 8 of them. So the very first song is a song called "Cousin of Death." So, what do you think about Cousin of Death?
Well, I got my little notes here. So,
I got mine.
well, that like I said before, that it's a very solid opening track. And the very opening riff reminds me of like High on Fire. You ever heard of them
Mm-hmm.
or listen to them? Great band. And then when the vocals kick in, I'm like, whoa, this guy's like, I don't want to, he sounds a little bit like Danzig, but in his own way. But I think it's definitely a nice solid opener, nice little mid pace, dun, like almost like a Black Sabbath pace.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when I was trying to figure out, like, is this Doom? Like, what is this? Like, um, but yeah, it's definitely a nice way to start off, get you introduced to the band. Yeah, solid.
Yeah, I put good solid song, good solid opener. I hear Danzig right out of the gate on this one. But yeah, on this one in particular, just because of its speed and it kind of the way it kind of broods on, it kind of a dun and dun and dun and dun pace. It's like Sabbath and Danzig got together and mishmashed with each other. You hear and
Bass.
yeah, that bass.
Yeah.
Cousin of Death, though, I like it. Like I said on this one, this is one that when I hear it, the drums to this sticks out on me because the drums are like they just have that live sound. And overall, the album is very well produced. There's not anything sticking out too much in front of the other, and so you get a good little idea. Not the entirety of what this album's going to be like, but you get a little idea of what this album's going to be like with Cousin of Death. So, yeah, I like it too. It's a good song. So that brings us to the second track on the album, the title track, Saint Blaise. So what do you think of? I'm going to let you go first. What did you think of Saint Blaise?
It's another one. I wrote down here crunchy, slower pace than the first one, heavier. Definitely would fit on the Danzig 2 to 3 to 4 era of Danzig for me. Yeah, it's got a nice crunch, and I can only imagine how heavy it would be live. But yeah, good. I like that one too. It's a real good song.
They include the lyrics of Saint Blaise in the album cover, and it's the lyrics on this album is actually really, if you really get into and listen what they're saying, they really get into some really deep stuff. But on mine, I've got Good Song also. I love the feel of this one. This reminds me of a mixture of Typo Negative, post October Rust, and Black Sabbath with Danzig thrown in again. I love how it clomps along, and I got here that I really like the lyrical content of this album. This is the song where I really started listening to the words and started looking at the words and I was like, okay, this is spooky. I like this. Me being a paranormal type person, it was spooky, and some of these songs on here are spooky, so I like it. So yeah. Yeah, so first two I'm fans of. All right, so the third track on the album is the instrumental called Bottom of the World. So what do you think about the instrumental song?
Well, I've never really been into like too many instrumentals, and I mean, it is what it is, but it was good. And not to keep beating the whole Danzig dead horse here, but if you just listen to that, you're just waiting for him to come in with like a or something, So I mean, it's short. It's not a real long thing, but yeah, it's like once again, I'm just like in that little late '80s, early '90s Danzig. I mean, they're probably going to be pissed that I don't know.
I hope not. I hope that what they were trying to accomplish is what they did.
As we go along, there'll be more references to not Danzig. So, But I was definitely waiting for him, Glenn, to come in there with a little something. But like you said, yeah, spooky. I never. It'd be a perfect October record,
Hmm.
you know, fall record for sure. You know how you guys and you and Rick are always talking about the seasons of Kiss and songs like that. This is an October record.
This is
So
definitely a fall pagan witching celebration type album. I definitely agree with that.
yeah,
Um,
it's, I mean it's fun. It's instrumental, but it's good.
yeah, I'm kind of like you. I was kind of disappointed to find out that it was an instrumental. And I actually, until I started looking at the tracks, because the first time I started listening to this, I was actually driving, and I thought that maybe track 3 was a beginning or like a prelude to track 4. But it's not. It's its own song. And I was kind of disappointed that nobody ever came in and sang, because I love all the spooky stuff they have going on in the background, and the way the bass guitar starts it off, and then that guitar comes in with that da na 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 da. I kept waiting on somebody to start singing, and somebody coming in sounding like Peter Steele or sounding like Glenn Danzig or something like that. It would have been perfect. But I've got as far as instrumentals go for me, and I'm usually not a big fan of instrumentals. It's good. I don't skip it because it keeps that spooky vibe of the album going.
Right.
And I love all the creepy sounds in the background. That's big for me. I love that they added that to it. So yeah. And so that brings us to number 4, track number 4, halfway through the album, The Evil Sun. S-U-N, Sun. It's a snap of scattered rays, a bitter cold, dying earth growing in my soul. The Evil Sun. So what do you think about The Evil Sun?
That one was what I wrote down here was more thrash than punk. That was good to me, which
Mm-hmm.
I like all that stuff. It definitely teeters on more of the late '80s, early '90s thrash, in my opinion, than punk, which is cool. Get you up, get you going. That right about that time when I'm listening to the record, I'm like, this is not Doom. The first time listening, I'm like, okay, it's not Doom now because it's upbeat and you want to like get things going. But yeah, I like that one. That one really, that one's good. That one's good. Bring it on. Bring on the thrash.
My notes is Black Sabbath is strong in this one, but then the Black Flag comes in with some early Metallica and Slayer mixed in. I
Yeah,
love this one. I love how it goes from being slow to being grooving, and then to being thrashing, and then that mosh pit fun. And
yeah,
The Evil Sun this is one of the. I mean, I like the first 3 songs on the album, but The Evil Sun is the first song on the album that made me really perk up and go, "Whoa, wait a minute now, wait a minute," you know. But yeah, I love it. All those influences coming together. The Evil Sun is really good.
yeah.
All right, so that takes us to track number 5, Beyond the Door. So how do you feel about Beyond the Door?
I wrote down here mid-paced, heavy as fuck crunch. Good good entrance song because I'm always thinking about a good entrance song for like a boxer, or a wrestler, or a fighter. If someone ever played this song, it would get you going for sure. And even the solo, it reminded me a lot of Tony Iommi.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like something Tony Iommi would do. But yeah, it's got a nice heavy, just yeah. I like this one a lot too. And if I was a fighter, you know, that'd be my entrance music, or wrestler. I have probably more of a wrestling body than fighter body.
Me
But
and you
yeah,
both, pal. Me and you both.
yeah. I mean, there's not really a bad song. I mean, there's really no room for a bad song. There's only 8 songs, but there's really not a bad song in this album. So yeah, that That one's good. Heavy, just heavy or AF. I don't know if I should swear or not, but heavy AF. How about that?
Heavy AF. Um, this is the song I've got on my notes. This is my jam. I freaking love this song. This song, this is the song I was talking about earlier. When that, when them drums start, I'm just like, oh, the volume fucking goes up, man. It's like, I would own this album just for this song. But it's not the only good song on this album. I hear Earlier Sabbath. I hear Danzig. I hear Godsmack too. Some of the way he sings and on this one, he's got a little. This album has a little Godsmack to it, especially in the verses. This song rocks, in my opinion. If you're watching this video and you are going to check out just one song on this album, in my opinion, it needs to be this one. To me, I would. If somebody's like, "Hey man, play me a song off that album. I want to hear if I like this band or not," I'd be like, "Okay, I'm going to play you this song right here," because that's my favorite song on this album. And I agree on my notes. It has a very Sabbath ending. We hear the same thing. We hear that Tony Iommi, that Geezer Butler, that bass line, and that it just jumps into that early Sabbath type ending, and I love it. It's a great song all the way around.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to track number 6, the Dybbuk. In my head, we're big fans. We hope you stay safe. We hope you like the album, VOD. And I started talking with the guys and in the band, and really. So the Dybbuk, I was like, whenever I first listened to this, I was like, he's like the Dybbuk, and I was like, oh, he's talking about the Dybbuk box. He's talking about the Dybbuk. And I was like, that whole thing fascinates me, the Dybbuk box and the whole nun, conjuring, that whole type of, those type of movies, paranormal movies that are demonic. They really fascinate me, and they really kind of draw me in. I'm big into paranormal, and I've got paranormal stuff on my channel, got more paranormal stuff coming on my channel. And this song just kind of did things for me, but I'm going to let you talk about it first.
Well, I don't really that if there was a weak song, quote unquote, to me, that would probably be it. But even, the other songs are like 8 or 9. This is like a 7 or 8. So it's not like awful. Skip past it. I just didn't have a lot of stuff written down for it. It was a good song, solid song, not bad in any way. But if you had to pick one weaker song, to me that would be it. But like I said, not bad at all. It's still a solid song. So, 7 out of 10 for me for that song.
I've got on my notes, I love the weird start. I love that and then it kicks in. I love the punk feel. And again, I hear Black Flag, I hear Danzig, I hear Sabbath. I love how it changes into a swagger near the end. This is also one of those songs I was mentioning earlier that you need to listen to with one earphone in, one earbud in, and then maybe try another one. Because you hear some weird crap that you kind of miss if you're listening with both. So yeah, the Dybbuk, so I love it. And like I said, it just conjures up all that paranormal type stuff for me. So since that's something near and dear that I love, I like this song. So that brings us to number 7, Above the Garage. So what about you for Above the Garage?
That song, killer song. I got it written down fast, like old school Cro-Mags. Get that pit going type song, like Minor Threat, old school Punk Fury. This song, that's what I feel, old school Punk Fury. Mm-hmm. It's good. It really, that'll get you going for sure. If it hasn't at this point, put that one on to start your morning off.
that's a good driving to work with your Morning Joe type of song.
Yeah.
I love the line. I live where the ghost will die, above the garage. My notes is I've got yes, a mosh pit song, punk thrash. I love it. Carnivore, Black Flag, Slayer, Misfits. If you like all these thrash, punk, dark bands, you need to check this album out for sure. For sure, it's not going to be for everybody, but I don't think they want to be for everybody. So yeah, Above the Garage, I love it. I love it. So the last song on the album, this album's entirely too short. It's only 25 minutes long, roughly around there. But you know, they went for quality in my opinion, and not quantity. So the 8th track is the final track, and it's called Toxic Swamp. So, what do you feel about Toxic Swamp?
That one oozes misfits to me, for sure. It's a nice closer, you know. It's not real crazy, not real. It's got like kind of like they're saying, thanks for stopping by and having partying with us. You know, good night. So yeah, I like that one a lot too. It just feels like a misfits, but not like, you know, a slower, but not slow. I don't know how to describe it, but that was my first thought. It just oozes misfits, and it was good, definitely good.
My notes I've got all in capitals. Love this. Danzig / Black Flag / Misfits with a little Elvis thrown in. Listen for it. See if you can catch a little Elvis in Haim's vocals. Fun. I've got new wave punk. Fun. But when the song ended, it sounds like a closer, like you said. It's an album closer. It's a show closer. I can see the mosh pit in full effect when this song is over. And I was sad it was over. In my opinion, the album's too short. But like I said, they went for quality and not for quantity. And I think it's a solid album. And I'm glad they sent it to me because honestly, I don't go looking for stuff like this.
Right.
And that's the cool thing I like when bands send me stuff. So when bands like Sebadoa sent me their album, I loved it. When Criminal Hygiene sent me their album, Run It Again, I loved it. I've got a couple more albums that was sent to me by their label that I've never got around to reviewing yet that I need to. But I love when I get sent stuff like this because I probably wouldn't have like been out shopping or looking for something like this, and I never would have found it. And it's like a you know, something I never would have gotten to listen to. This album to me, it starts off good, but the album gets better as it goes on. For me, it does at least. So that's what I think about it. What about you, Aaron?
Well, I mean, you definitely wouldn't go into a record store and probably be looking for a Black Sabbath, Misfits, High on Fire, Cro-Mags, Minor Threat, Hybrid. And they'd probably look at you like you're shit, I don't know what the hell you want. Yeah.
Tell you what, man.
Yeah, like, why don't you get all those? But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a good album, and I want the guys, if they watch this, to I don't know if you noticed, but every song we talked about, we both had a smile on our face.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what music's all about. It just puts you in like a better place, hopefully, you know. And that's what this album did. It really like
right.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad you thought of me and told me about it and asked me to do this, and it's really cool. I like doing, you know. I have a lot of useless information in my head, and my wife, we've been together for so many years. She's tired of it.
Yours too?
Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I give it out of 5. I gave it 4 stars. So that's my official rating of it. So I would highly suggest it, and check out their other stuff too. And then you hear more of the punk stuff and the other stuff. They even did a cover of Demonomania from the Misfits on that live album, and
Okay.
it was awesome. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, now I know what they're shooting for. Definitely check it out. I enjoyed it
Yeah.
tremendously.
So if you're watching this video and you never heard of Voice of Doom, definitely check this out. I'm going to put the link to their website and to the website where you can purchase this. It looks like it's available on Pyrific Victory Recordings out of Lyndhurst, New Jersey. But I'll put the links for this down in the description. I encourage you guys to, if you are interested in this kind of stuff, if these influences we've named that you like any of them, to check this band out. And we hope the band enjoys it, and hope we get some feedback from them too. See if they like this review of it that me and Aaron did. So that's all I've got for this one. Aaron, I appreciate you hanging out with me again. It's always fun. We get to hang out.
Thank you, brother.
If you want me to review your stuff, send it to me. P.O. Box is on my website and on my YouTube. If you want me to review it, send it to me. Give me a little bit of time. All right, that's all I've got for this one. Thanks for watching.